Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It looks like the first reviews are up for Daemon Machina, Titanic, Scion. Since this is a Switch channel, we're going to mostly look at the Nintendo Switch reviews. There's only one review for PS5 and PC so far, and there's about 10 for the Nintendo Switch 2 as of the making of this video. So let's go over to Metacritic and let's see what people have to say about the game, because it's kind of a mixed bag. Like, it sounds like it's really fun to play, but there's issues. All right, let's go check this out. All right, so here we are over on Metacritic, and I have it zoomed in, so try to block all these stupid ads that keep showing up. All right, so overall, based off of 10 reviews so far, I'm sure they'll get way more throughout the day, but this is just the beginning. Mixed average score of 70. I wonder, I'll probably land around 70, 75 is my guess for the Switch version. This is pretty cool. I didn't know you could pick which console you wanted to see it. So let's just go through these really fast. Loot Level Chill gave it an 85. They said the fast-paced mech combat game with an impressive world to explore and many customization options, so they liked it. Spazio Games basically said the same thing. It's a strong sequel. It's really fun. There's tons of customizations. There are some unavoidable repetitiveness, it says right here. And there's some issues on the Switch 2 version, like frame rates and performance issues, dips. And I noticed that in the demo. I was hoping they'd fix it for the full release. These guys are reviewing the full release of the game, so it sounds like they didn't fix it yet. Maybe there's a day one patch. But I don't think they'd give out review codes if they were planning a day one patch, because then you're giving them an inferior version of the game. So I'll have to wait and see. Final Weapon gave it an 80. They said the same thing. It's awesome. You can create whatever mech you want, loadout you want, have fun, play co-op, stuff like that. Then we start getting lower here. 75 CG Magazine. Despite not living up to its full potential on Switch 2, Daemon X Machina is still an incredibly fast-paced and fun action RPG. Yes, it is very fun to play. Nintendo World Report. Now we're getting into the Nintendo-heavy websites. They're the ones giving the most critical reviews so far, because they're expecting more out of the Switch 2. Like, especially this early in its life. There's no excuse for a game not to run at 60. Just lower the visuals, do what you have to do. It has to run at 60. Every game should be required to run at 60 FPS, in my opinion. I don't care what the game is. Lower the resolution, lower the visuals. I don't care. 60 FPS needs to be standard, not just for Switch, but for PlayStation 5, Xbox, going forward. I'm tired of 30 FPS. I'm sick of it. And they touted 60 FPS during that Nintendo Direct, but developers can't figure it out. It's not Nintendo's fault. Anyway, so Nintendo World Report gave it a 70. It says it has a neat premise and fun ways to customizing your character and your arsenal to meet the different combat challenges found in its world. It's unfortunate that the world itself feels lifeless at times, with repetitive enemy encounters and side missions. The best moments are when you come across gigantic immortal enemies, like those huge things. There's one in the demo which destroyed me in 2 hits. I'm thinking that's like a co-op thing. Game Reactor gave it a 60. Now we're getting pretty low here. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion entertains when it works. The real fun comes when you flip the online switch and play basically online co-op with other people, and you get to see all their weird, they use with shiny steel butt cheeks, which I think is funny. Basically, they're talking about how some people will actually try to make their mech look cool and color it correctly, and then some other people make it look like a clown robot. So you get to laugh at everybody's customization and artistic look, if you will. Unfortunately, it says there's too many issues that pile up on the Switch, so that's why they gave it a 60. Nintendo Life, which I was shocked because I follow those guys quite a bit. I really like their YouTube channel and their content. They're really fair. If you go if you go look at their full demo on their website, they talk about how basically when you get a new system like the Nintendo Switch, and the old system, PS5 Series X, is 5 years old, and it runs the game better than this new system you just got, even though the Switch 2 is not as powerful as a PS5, which is a topic for another day. I knew it wasn't going to be as powerful as PS5. We've known that for a while now. But with DLSS and all these other things that they've put in the system, feel like they should be able to get more out of it. Maybe they haven't given all the juice to third party yet, because I mean Donkey Kong ran almost flawlessly on there. There was a few frame rate dips because there's so much going on, but for the most part, that looked and ran beautifully. Like, now I'm comparing everything to Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's like, well, why is this not running as good? I know it's third party. They probably didn't have enough time with the console. Maybe we'll get updates that will make it run and look better throughout the future. I don't know. It's a bummer. And they basically talk about that, and they talk about how you can't compare the Switch 2 to the PlayStation 5 because their architecture is totally different. Like the Switch 2 is basically a PS4 Pro, but maybe slightly better. I'm not a super tech guy, but that's my guess. That's how I feel about the Switch 2. It's kind of like a PS4 Pro, but slightly faster and portable. Whereas the PS5 is like a beast, huge, 5 times bigger than the tiny little Switch. So, but we can't help it as gamers. We're going to compare. We're going to be like, why isn't it not running as good? So anyway, they talk about that. And they talk about how the performance issues really hurt the game on the Switch 2. And basically, if it, 60 FPS on the PS5, if you're going to buy this game, you should probably buy it on PlayStation or PC. That's my guess. And then Cube down here at the bottom gave it a 50. This is the worst score so far. Between the terrible story and characters, I feel like that's subjective. Like, some people are really picky about storylines and stuff. And the poor performance on Switch 2, it is really difficult to recommend Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion. It's like your typical anime. Like, if you don't like anime storylines, then yeah, you're not going to like this game. If you want more realistic driven storylines, then go play a Sony game or something. But I feel like that terrible storylines and characters. I don't know. Toby's awesome, and the dude that you save at the beginning, I forget his name, but he's like the guy that's helping you out throughout the game. I don't know. I think they're okay. Like, I haven't played the full game. Maybe the full game, the characters in the storyline are terribly written, but it's like an anime, so keep that in mind. And it's more about the mech experience anyway. So, but hey, that's their opinion. Then you go up to the PlayStation 5. Here's the PlayStation 5 review. It says they gave it an 80, PSX Brazil. Despite the poor dialogue, empty open world, and other issues, Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion is a fun action game thanks to its combat storyline that make up for its flaws. See, they praise the storyline. They like the story. Like I said, it's an anime storyline. Some people don't like those. I think I was engaged, and I played the demo for almost 10 hours, so because you can just go fly around and have fun. It did feel repetitive, though. I will say that. Hopefully it gets more variety once you go on. And then the one PC review, there's none on Xbox yet. I don't expect there to be any on Xbox because nobody plays on Xbox anymore. While the story of Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion may not have connected with me, and the action may not be breaking any new ground, it is ultimately a ton of fun to play with fast-paced action and instantly engaging, yet offers enough variety throughout to keep my attention. Anyone who loves customization will be an absolute heaven. And yeah, move that up so you can see it. There you go. Absolute heaven. Holy crap, where am I? Not breaking new ground. Engaging offers throughout to keep you in attention. Anyone who loves customization will absolute heaven and should absolutely check this one out. I hate when it cuts off when there's only like 2 words left. It's like, come on. But yeah, there we go. I'll try to fix this. Okay, so are you getting Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion? If you do, I would not get it on the Switch 2 unless you really, really need play it anywhere feature. Other than that, if you only play on the TV and that's the only place you play, and you have a PlayStation 5 or a Series X or a PC that's powerful enough to get, because I believe it's 120 FPS on PC if you have a powerful enough console, or a PC, I mean. So I don't know. I'm getting it on PlayStation. This kind of sealed that deal for me, even though I have a Switch channel. I can't. Nah, man. Having it portable would be cool, but I don't go anywhere. I mean, that's why I don't get YouTubers like, oh, but you can play it anywhere. If you're a YouTuber, you don't go anywhere. You pretty much stay at home the whole time, unless you're going to like events and stuff for gaming shows and gaming conventions. You're not going anywhere. Like, you're at home most of the time. So shut up and play it on PlayStation or on your PC. Like, oh, but you can take it anywhere. Ugh, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, and stay frosty.